This meeting is being recorded.
First, we will start with the Power BI, the desktop navigation. Just give me a second. This is, I don't know why it has opened. Let me just close this. Yes, my screen is visible, right? I shared my screen. Rajesh, can you recheck it? It's being launched to the Power BI desktop. Let's wait for some time. So how do I launch my Power BI desktop? Let's say you have installed your Power BI desktop successfully. And next you need to go to the search window. In the start button, in the start button, you have search option, right? Here you go and type Power BI desktop and click on the Power BI desktop, and you need to wait for some time. Initially, it will take time. Better you can close it and restart it again. Okay. Minimum, if you have 8 GB RAM, it will be okay. See, in my case, I have 16 GB RAM. Still, it takes time because the other issue is I'm using Python in the background for my other project related thing. But if you have minimum 8 GB, it will be good. Okay, otherwise it will be very, very slow. Okay, now the Power BI desktop got launched, and this is your welcome screen, the green color. You don't need this welcome screen, okay? And if you want to go through on the tutorials given by Microsoft, you can click on it, and then you can look at this one also. And in my case, I don't need this. I'm going to click on the cross. It got closed. Now we are in the Power BI desktop. What you are saying is the Power BI desktop. But as soon as you open this, right, and if you close the welcome screen, this is how it appears. Okay, the tool appears like this. What you see here is nothing but the report canvas. Okay, at the outset, when you open the tool, the Power BI desktop, and after closing, after closing the welcome screen, this is what he will saying it. This is what called as whatever you see it, right? This one, the rectangle thing. This is the one is your report canvas. This is where we create the reports. For example, on the right side, you have visualizations pane. Under the visualization pane, we have various visuals are there. I'm going to click on the clustered bar chart. Like as various charts are available. So how to create the charts, everything, we will have a dedicated session. That time we'll discuss about this. At this moment, let's go step by step with the proper sequence, okay? So this is what your the report canvas, this is where we can create the reports and so on, okay? And the next one is, this is what the report canvas. By default, once you close the welcome screen, what you see is the report canvas, and the alternative, you can click on this icon to go to the report canvas. Now the question is, why should I click on, why this icon is required? Already I can see the once I launch this, I can see the report canvas. Supposing you have another icon, right? So here you want to, once you load the data, and if you want to view the data, you need to switch from the report view to the data view. And if you want to switch back from report view to canvas view, that kind of report canvas view or report view, you need to click on this. For that purpose, these icons are very much helpful. The first icon is for report view. Second icon is for data view. Okay, so now I just loaded data. How do I load a data? If I want to load any data, you need to click on the get data icon. So in the get data, you can see the drop down here. Here you will find various connectors, Excel, Power BI data sets, data flows, many things here. Okay. Now I'm going to load a CSV file. If you want to load a text file or CSV file, you need to click on this connector. So what do you mean by CSV file? What is a text file? The file name ends with TXT. That is what your text file. For example, you have a sales data set. That file ends with txt.txt. That is called your text data. And if the file ends with the file extension is CSV, okay, the file's extension is .csv, that is called your CSV file. What is CSV file? Comma separated value file. What is comma separated value file? Each column and its values are separated by comma separated values. If you open this file, you will find something like, let's you have order ID and order date, something like that. Likewise, various columns are there. Each column is separated by a comma. Okay, not necessarily comma, it can be semicolon, it can be a pipe symbol. Pipe symbol is something like this. Okay, they use two pipe symbol, like in your keyboard, just above the enter key, you can find this symbol. Okay, this is called pipe. They use two pipes to separate one column to another column. In some case, they leave tab between one column to another column. Okay, but the most popular file is the text file or CSV files, right? Most of the enterprises, even today, I could see that they are using CSV file only. Even if the data is available in or table, as the SQL Server or Oracle table, they spool the data, which means they copy the data from the table to CSV file. Okay, this file can be accessed by other users. Okay, instead of allowing the users directly hit that database table, all the table content, they will move it to a the flat file. It is also called as a flat file. CSV file or also CSV file or text file, these are called as flat file. Okay, so they will move all the content to this file, and in this file, while we copy the data to this file, they make sure that they use a delimiter as comma. This is called our delimiter. It is also called a delimiter. So delimiter, okay, delimiter. So the delimiter is comma. The delimiter can be comma, it can be a tab, or it can be pipe symbol, or it can be a semicolon, something like that. Okay. But this is the comma separated values are the most popular one. So each column for order ID is AX502 and order date is 2012, something like that. Okay, this is order date order. Each column and its values are separated by comma. Okay, this is your structured data. This is how you can identify where the next column starts. Okay, this is the first column, where the next column after the comma, whatever the values that you see, right? That is your column and column name and data. And then if you want to see the next column, followed by the comma, whatever is there, your next column. Okay, so this is a comma separated value file. Now let us go ahead and load one data comma separated value file here. So here I'm going to click on the get data, and I'm going to, supposing you have the data that is available in SQL Server, you can click on SQL Server and you can do that. I will show you that one also, don't worry. Okay. And here I know very well the file name. So instead of searching it, I just go and type sales_w04.csv. I know very well in this folder, in the D drive, that one folder, I have the file with this name already exists. Instead of going and searching it, you just type the file name up front and click on open. The file is not available in that folder, it will throw an error. Since I know very well this file is already there, I just type the name of the file and clicked on open. This is another way of opening a file. Look here, this is your navigation window. So this is where you can see the tables data here, the columns and the data, corresponding data, you can see it here, okay? And you can see that the delimiter, it shows as comma, okay, comma. And don't ask me why comma is not there here, but it shows them in the since it's a structured data, it shows them in the rows and columns format, okay? And then the data type deduction based on first to 200 rows. So it shows just the sample data of my original data set sales W04. Okay, it will not load the entire data. This is kind of a preview. So here you can see and decide, are you intend to load this data into your Power BI desktop or not? So, okay, now I'm looking at the sample data of my sales W04.csv. And with that, I can understand the quality of the data as well. So look here, the first column is your row.id and order ID. Okay, so many columns are there. Okay. And everything seems to be good. We don't see any data related issues. And if you scroll towards the right side, you can see the other columns and everything. Everything is fine. Only problem is with that sales column. I can see that along with the numeric value, there is some character value got attached, the special character, dollar, hash. These are your special character along with this numeric value. You can see this value. Hence, obviously, this column will get converted as a text data type once I hit the load button at the bottom. Why it assigns a text data type? Because I have one value which got prefixed with the dollar sign. Hence, this value will be considered as a text data type. You take any programming language. Okay, even if you have a single value, even if you have a single text value in a column, it will assign that entire column as a text data type because text takes highest precedence compared to other data type. Okay, so now I understood there is some the transformation is required. We need to convert this column as a numeric data type. Before that we need to remove the dollar, and then we need to convert the number data type. Okay, and then we can see that some NA is there. NA stands for not available, which means some blank values are there. Okay, and okay, fine. Now I got the gist of what this data file consists, and the issues also, right? What are the issues we have it here? And discount is fine, but the negative profit column, I can see some negative values. So with this, I can understand, there are some products they sold it with the negative profit. Okay, fine. And everything else seems to be good. Now I'm going to hit the load button. You have three options here. When you click on cancel, this data will not get loaded at all. Okay. And when you hit the load button, this data will get loaded into a Power BI desktop. Next one is the transform data. Instead of clicking on the load, you can click on transform data. In this case, what will happen is it will open the Power Query editor. Power Query editor is kind of your kitchen, in our home kitchen, right? So in our home kitchen, what we do, we clean the vegetables and we cut the vegetables in the proper shape, and we do some kind of shaping, we do some kind of cleaning the same way. Using the Power Query editor, you can do the data cleaning, data shaping, everything. Okay, the data transformation, everything you can do it there. So, and I don't want to load this data upfront into Power Query editor. Instead, I want to load the data first, and then I'm going to click on the transform data. Okay. Why need, so after loading the data, why should I click on the transform data? Because as we have seen in the sales column, there is a dollar attached with the numeric value. Hence, Power BI, not only Power BI, you take any programming language. If you have a text value, single text value is there in a column, the entire column will get converted text data type. If it is a text column, then it is fine. Okay, if it is a numeric column, if you have a text value in it, it will convert that as a text data type. The issue here is you cannot perform any arithmetic operation with the text data. Okay, for that purpose, we need to do some kind of data transformation. I'm going to first load the data. Or you can also click on the transform data. Yes, Bala, you are correct, right? We can also click on the transform data. You can do all kind of transformation. And once you do the data cleaning, everything, and then you can load it. So your point is first loading and then opening the Power Query takes time. So can't I go directly there? Yes, you can go directly there and you can do the cleaning also there. Okay, that is another option. Here, the reason why we are loading is first of all, whether the data are being, see, what we have seen in the preview window was just the sample data, not the entire data. But we do not know, if we have any other data related issues. Only when you load the data and if it throws an error, you can find out, right? Yes, even Power Query Editor also you can find out. Just give me a second. I'm getting. Okay, now it got opened in the Power Query Editor. So look here, how did I go here? Okay, before I go there, just give me a second. See, this is what your transform data. You click on this, click on the transform data, it will open the Power Query Editor. See, before that, yes, you might be asking this question. So now I have used I clicked on the load button. So how do I make sure that where the data got loaded? So here I don't see any data here. On the right side, top corner, right? If you see something called data preview window, here you will find something called a sales underscore W04. Sales underscore W04, right? So next to that, you can find this greater than icon. You can click on it. And you can see the columns, right, that belong to this file. You can see it as sales W04. You can find all the columns that belongs to this file here. So the file name, you can see it here, the one which I loaded it here a while ago. And the columns that belongs to this file, we can see it here. Okay. Now the question is, okay, file name is fine and column name, where can I view the data? Where can I view the data? So before we jump in there, you need to note down one thing here. Next to this file, sales W4 CSV, you can see the table icon, which means Power BI considers the file, the CSV file, or you take any file, it consider everything as a table. It's something like once you start migrate, once you move to India, everyone should have Aadhaar card, something like that, right? And everyone will be considered as an Indian citizen, something like this. So here it considers all the files, irrespective of the type of the file, everything. It will consider everything as a table. Okay. So that's the reason why we can see the table icon next to the CSV file. Very good. And the next one is, yeah, I need to view the data. Click on the data view icon here. If you click on this, now you can see the data here, but it will take some time to populate the data here or display the data here. Okay, if you scroll towards the right side and the left side, you can see that all the columns got loaded. How do I know that how many number of records got loaded here? So on the left bottom, you can see here 25,004 rows got loaded into this file. Very good. Okay. The next thing is, can't I see the data type for each column here? Yes. If you see here, nothing, right? You can see the name of the file, but you don't see the data type for each column. But if you select a specific column here, let's say if you click on it, if you click on the column name, a new menu will appear in the data view itself, right? So in the data view, you can see that this column got assigned with text data type, and even the format is also text, and don't summarize, uncategorize, something like that. You can see this one. Next one is the quantity. I'm going to click on the quantity. Moment when I clicked on the quantity, you can see that the quantity is a whole number. It is an integer data type. Okay, it is an integer data type. For all numeric data type, whether it is an integer or decimal, it does the aggregation automatically. So the default aggregation function used Here's sum function. And if you want to change it, you can change it. This is the default aggregation function, average, minimum, maximum, everything. If you want to do average, you can do it, but it is not recommended to change the aggregation function type and all here. Okay, better you can leave it as it is. And if you want to compute the total sales on a specific column or total quantity, for example, you want to find out the total quantity we sold it, better you can create a measure. In that measure, you can use a sum function explicitly, and then you do it. Okay, so that is what the best practice. Anyhow, when I discuss about DAX in detail, we'll discuss about the best practice also. Okay, so remember that all the numeric column, whether it's a decimal or integer, a whole number, okay, all the numeric columns, by default, it applies a aggregation condition called sum. Okay, sum. Okay. So and also you understood how to view the data type for each column here. Okay, and on the right side, if you see here, next to each numeric column like discount, profit, quantity, row.id, there is a notation called sigma. This notation is called sigma, which means summarize. Okay, sum of discount, sum of profit, sum of quantity, which means when you drag and drop this column into a visual is nothing but chart. It gives you the total quantity automatically. Okay, this is called your implicit implicit measure. I just switch. See, currently I'm in data view. I want to go back to my report canvas or the report. So you need to click on the report view to switch from data view to report view. Yes, currently I'm here. So I'm going to show you one example. Look here, just beneath the visualizations pane, I have something called the clustered column chart. I just clicked on it. And here I'm going to drop the quantity column. I'm going to one text column and numeric column. Okay. So the text is appearing here, the category, and then other one is quantity. Look here, in this case, I just dropped the quantity column. I just dragged, and I'll just show you one more time. See here, on the right side, we have quantity, isn't it? I'm going to select the quantity. I'm going to drag and drop inside the visual. I just dropped the quantity, isn't it? But if you see the table property here, the x-axis category got assigned, and the y-axis sum of quantity. I just dropped the quantity, but it did the sum of quantity because all the numeric columns by default Power BI, what it does the aggregation. It does the aggregation using sum function. So obviously it shows in each category how much quantity, how many quantities we sold in total, how many quantities we sold in total in each category. It displays that. Okay, most of the time in the case of analytics, we do aggregation, sum, average, minimum, maximum, isn't it? That is the reason why, that is also the reason why they have given this option. Supposing you want to see the transaction level data, you can copy paste this, Control C and Control V. I'm going to convert this as a table visual. Table visual. In the table visual, also I can see the same values here. Okay, in the category, I can see office supplies, technology, furniture. There are 3 categories. In each category, it gives me the breakdown of sales out of the total sales. This is the total sales. Out of this, in each category, how much sales we made it in total, it displays here. Supposing you don't want to see the total sales, you want to see the line item transaction level data, you can go here on the right side. For that, you need to first select this visual. And then on the right side, you can see the column, there is a field called or section called columns. In the columns, we can see the 2 columns which we dragged and dropped it from our table. Either you can drag and drop it here, or you can drag and drop it directly into the visual. Okay, table is also called a visual. Okay, look here. Here, sum of quantity, right? Next to that, you have the drop down here. You click on it, and then you can find a lot of options here. Here also you can change the aggregation type. You want to do the average, or you want to, instead of going and changing the type of aggregation, the data view for each column. So here, specific to a visual, also you can change the aggregation. Suppose you want to see the average sales, you can click on average. Okay, in our case, we don't want to summarize. Give me the transaction level data. Click on don't summarize. Now, if you notice here, it shows quantity. It is not sum of quantity, right? All I did was just clicked on the don't summarize, and it shows, it got the name, that column name got changed to quantity. Okay. And then if you look at the visual, the table visual, you can see that, each, each transaction level data, we can see it here. Itemized data. Look here in office supplies, everywhere 1, 2, 3, right? So we sold it this much. And there are some cases we sold 11 quantities in technology. And if you want to see the product level, each category, which product we sold, you can drag and drop the product name. Okay. So anyhow, we will discuss in detail about that when I cover the data visualization part. Okay. At this moment, understand what these aggregation notations are all about. Okay. And what is the default aggregation function that you have learned it? How to check the data type, all the things. For example, if you want to check the data type, you can check it here itself. Click on the quantity column once. Now you can get even in the report view also, you can see the data type. Okay, the whole number, everything. The simple way to find out the data type is the sigma notation. If you see sigma notation along with any column, which means that's a numeric column. But is that a whole number or decimal? You need to click on the column name. Those columns don't prefix with sigma. That means, right, most of them are, almost all of them are like your text data type. Fine. So next one is, okay, why table visual? Can't I do it in this one? Yes, Bala. Okay, 1 second. If I click on this here, in the y-axis, if you put quantity, what will happen? But again, this is a default behavior. Okay, if you put don't summarize, okay, you want don't summarize. Here, don't summarize is not available in this case of visual. Okay. Look here, if I go here, sum of quantity, and if you click on it here, you will not have to summarize. Okay. The reason is, if you plot it for each and every transaction, it will be literally cluttered. Okay. So many values will be there, right? And the aggregation, see, in general, aggregated values only, they wanted to see it. If you wanted to see the detail, transaction level detail, you need to switch to the table visual. Okay. In the table visual, you can go here and select don't summarize. Here you can see the table visual is meant for displaying the values in transaction level, the numeric values, and also the troubleshooting purpose is very much helpful. And also there are cases, right, you cannot use the visuals like column chart, bar chart, or the donut chart or any other chart all the time, right? There are sometimes, yes, you need to view the data in table form. So in that kind of situation, table visual is helpful. So that we will discuss it later. So now you understood the fundamental thing, right? The nitty-gritties of how to load the data, how to check the data type for each columns, and also how to check are there any duplicate records, are there, all the things. First thing is you load the data, next explore the data and make sure that all the required data from the entire data got loaded successfully from the CSV file into your Power BI desktop or not. You need to check that, isn't it? And also, see, look here, if I select this column, category column, I selected it, it got highlighted. And if you look at the bottom here, it displays the distinct values also. How many distinct values are there in the category column? 4 distinct values. Let's say you are working with this company for the last 10 years. You know very well only 3, under 3 category only we sell many of the products. How come it shows 4 distinct values? What could be the reason? What could be the reason? One of the reasons could be blank values are there. How do I check that one? Next to the column name, you will find 3 dots. This is called your ellipses. Click on the 3 dots and you can find that, yes, like I said, so there are some records, we can see some kind of blank value in the category column. furniture, office supplies, technology. These are the three unique categories. Along with that, we have some blank record. So how do I check, which record has a blank value? You can click on, you can unselect everything and select only the blank thing and click on OK. So yeah, we can see some kind of blank value here. And if you scroll towards the right side, there are two blank records are there. Even this one, we need some kind of transformation, data transformation. What kind of transformation? We need to remove these blank records. So how many issues we found? The sales column, the numeric value got combined with some character value. And we have some blank records are there here also. Okay. Now what I do is I'm going to unselect it. I'm going to click on select all. I'm going to hit OK now. Yes. Now I understood there are some more issues are there. So what can I do? You just go to the home ribbon and then click on the transform data drop down. You can see various options. The first one is the transform data. If you click on this, it will take you to your kitchen, which is nothing but our Power Core editor. So we can go and fix all these data related issues. See, the simple common sense is, if you work on any reporting project, any analytics project, to create a report also, right, you need to have the data. That is the important prerequisite. Without data, you cannot do anything. Yes, data is there. All the required data given by my management to create the report. But how good the quality of the data? See here, we can see blank records. And we can see in the sales column, some issues are there. Okay. So is this data is good enough to create the report or not? Creating the report is not important, right? More than creating a report, you need to make sure that your data is clean, and whatever the report that you created, it should show the accurate data. That is more important. No matter how well you designed your report. Okay, your report looks visually appealing, compelling, it looks great. But at the end of the day, if it is not giving the accurate data, what will happen? That is the important aspect. Okay, if it displays the inaccurate data there, it will mislead you to take the wrong decision. See, why do we need to create the report? To share the report with the upper management or the key stakeholders. Okay, when they view the report, they should feel happy. They should they should be engaged, right? The report should engage them more. In the sense, you should give some you should create interactive report. The end user should be able to interact with the reports. For example, if they want to see the north region, they should be able to see. If they want to see north and south, yes, everything is good. The report is very interactive and the design is really awesome, but the value whatever I'm seeing is not accurate. It is showing something wrong. It shows in the south region, the sales is down. The profit margin, it shows as negative margin, right? Too much of negative margin, some inaccurate values. This is not affordable. That is the reason why before you create a report, do the data transformation as part of the data pre-processing. Data transformation is also called data pre-processing. As part of data pre-processing, address these kind of blank values, you remove it, and convert the sales column, remove the dollar, and convert the numeric data type. Right? And also, if required, create additional columns. So this is a raw data. What we have in our hand is raw data. What do you mean by raw data? With this raw data alone, you cannot create the report requested by your stakeholders. Why? You have all the necessary column. Why can't I get them? Okay, but I don't have the net sales column available here. I don't have the net margin column is available, or margin percentage. I don't see it here. Those additional columns needs to be created based on the based on the existing columns. Okay, already the quantity is there, sales is there, or profit is there, profit column. But are these columns got assigned with the correct data type? That matters a lot, right? You need to, so changing from one data type to another data type, or in the required, the format, the required data type. These are all called your formatting. Okay, deduplication, removing the duplicate records. And sometimes you may have to rename the column. The column names may not be in the proper name. You may have to rename the column. How do I rename the column? You just click on the column name here. Look here, and you just go here and leave some space. Okay, product name, something like that. Okay. So if you leave some space, obviously it will put dot here, which is nothing but space. Oh, sorry, not dot. It's correct only. Yeah, product space name. Let's say this is how the name should be there. You can rename the column, reformat the data type, remove the duplicate records. Okay, fine. These are the data pre-processing steps. Okay. Once you are done with everything, data pre-processing, and once your data is in the proper shape, and then if you go and create the report, it makes sense. Very good. So I'm going to click on the transform data. Already I clicked on this. It opened the Power Query editor. Look here, if you go here, this is what your Power Query. I'll just close this and I'll open it one more time. So here, click on the transform data. Now it opens the Power Query editor. In the Power Query editor, you can see all the columns, same as your data view. So what is so big deal? The beauty of the Power Query editor is next to each column, you can see some kind of icon like ABC and 1, 2, 3, and you have something else called 1.2. So 1, 2, 3, 1.2, text, ABC 1, 2, 3. You can see this kind of icon next to each column. These icon tells us quickly what data type this column profit is all about. 1.2 is nothing but a decimal data type, isn't it? Profit is a decimal data type. Okay, shipping cost is also a decimal data type. And order priority, if you see next to that ABC, which means order period is a text data type. Along with the column name, they display the icon. These icons helps us to quickly understand what data type this column has in it. Okay, got assigned with it. And if you scroll towards the left side, and you can see that order date is a text data type, ship date is also text data. Actually, this one's supposed to be a date data type. Okay, now the question is, okay, what are the data types that are available? How can I see that? Holistically, how do I get more comprehensively? Where can I find the data types that are? So look here, you can click on any one of the icons. Okay, not only order date, you go to any column. Next to the column, in this case, I'm going to click on the ABC. You can see all the available data type here. Decimal number data, fixed decimal number, and then whole number, percentage. Likewise, you can see various data type. Date time, date time zone, duration, text, true, false. This is your Boolean data type. Okay, and then binary data type, and then using locale. Okay, and this is to change from one time zone to another time zone. Supposing, look here, if you see the data here, month, date, year format, the data values are stored here, which is a US date format. Okay, fine. And I just go over here towards the right side. Okay, here we can see that there is an issue here, right? So how do I address this? I'm going to remove the dollar here. So you can click on somewhere here in the column name. Okay, not here, on top of the column name, or somewhere here. And then keep the cursor over here, right click on it. What you see is called your context menu. In the context menu, you click on replace values. Replace the dollar by blank value. Please remember that the sales is a text data type currently. Even if you have a blank value, that is considered as a string data type. Okay. Here I'm not going to specify anything here, which means a empty string. Replace the dollar by empty string. In that way, we have smartly discarded the dollar value from this value, right? And next one is, if I scroll in, I can see NA. What is NA? NA stands for not available. There are some blank values are there. Okay, this column supposed to have the values, all the column, all the rows in this column should have non-blank values, but we have some blank values. In that case, you need to check with customer. You can take the screenshot or send this set of records to the customers and ask them, why there is a blank value here. If they say no, for the time being, you can replace the blank by 0. We are busy. You don't wait until we come back to you. You go ahead and create the report. We will get back to later. Fine. In that case, what you do is in the blank space, you replace that thing with 0 or something like that. NA. Don't use NA alone. Okay. Blindly don't use NA. Okay. Why should I replace the NA by 0? If you don't replace the NA by 0, so by default, when the data get loaded into Power BI Desktop or in the Power Query Editor, it assigns the NA for the blank values in the case of text data type. So we need to replace the NA by 0 because we want to convert the numeric data type. Look here, all the NAs. Are there any other issues are there? As of now, nothing is there. And we remove the dollar also. You click on the drop down here. This one will also help you to understand, are there any data related issues. And if you see here 106668 and okay, 1066.4, not all the same. And we don't see any duplicate values. We could see some kind of blank here that we have already seen it. Fine. I'm going to click on it. Okay, fine. I replace the NA by 0. I remove the dollar by replacing the dollar by empty string. Okay. Now, next to the sales column, this icon, if I click on it, and I'm going to, sales is a decimal number, isn't it? I'm going to click on decimal number. It got converted as a decimal number, decimal values. Now it got converted successfully as a decimal number data type. Okay, interestingly, on the right side, if you see here, there is something called applied steps. What are the steps that we carried out? It got recorded here automatically by Power Query Editor. Look here, I have something called replace values. I just clicked on it. And if I click on it, you can see that dollar got replaced with blank value. Okay, dollar got replaced with the blank value. Fine, what is this? Table dot replace values. All we did was we just clicked on the column name, right clicked on it, and then we clicked the replace values option. So according to us, just do point and click to do the data transformation or replacing the values, right? Point and click, we did it. Behind the scene, for Power Query Editor to understand what kind of action we carried out, right, in the form of point and click, behind the scene, it generates a script. This script is called M script. It is in Power Query Editor. There's something called the M language, right? So you can use M language. Sorry, M language. This is called M language. This M language will get generated automatically whenever you do point and click, or if you wanted to write your own script in M language, that is also you can write it. These are the built-in functions, table dot replace value inside the parenthesis. This is a previous step. And then here the dollar. Okay, what you want to do in this function? Replace the dollar by empty string. And on which column? Sales column. In the sales column, replace the dollar by empty string. Okay, this is a function. Okay, inside the function, you need to specify these arguments. This is called a remnant. We don't have to write it explicitly. It is all generated automatically by the engine, Power BI engine, okay, or Power Query Editor engine. Okay, what are the other things you should be knowing it when it comes to applied steps, so that you can understand, right, in what sequence, what kind of action that you carried out. So next one is the replay, another replace value again, right? So okay, I replace NA by 0. Even as a report developer, later point in time, you can come and check, in what sequence, what transformations you did it, right? And in the real world scenario, you have a lot of steps are there. You need to go and check in which step, what we did. In case of any issues with your visual, you can come and check the the type of action that you carried out as part of data pre-processing. Okay. The type 1 is the sales is a number data type. Okay, fine. And so I think everything looks good. And but one thing, if you see here, okay. So sorry, it's correct only. Change the type. 1 second. Filtered rows. And okay, this is the one I forgot to tell you. Okay, and sales type, we need to change it to decimal number. Fine. We did it. Okay, in what sequence? It's something like in your apartment, you have the CCTV. With the help of CCTV, you can find out, which person came after which person. In proper sequence, it records each and every step for our review later point in time. Okay, what steps that we carried out. Okay, and fine. And other thing is like, I don't need the row.id column. This is not required as part of my report. Just select this column, right click on it. This is your context menu, click on remove. If you want to remove only this column, you can click on remove. Sometimes what will happen, you want to keep only 3 columns. You can say, in that case, what you need to do is you need to hold the control key to do the multi-select. Hold the control key and then select more than 1 column. You cannot select the group of columns just by clicking it. Okay, make sure that you are holding the control key to select the set of columns. And then if you right click on it, remove other column. This is a beautiful feature. If you have 100 columns, you want to select only few columns. Okay, randomly, right? Okay, I'll select this one. I was holding the control key and then I clicked on it. So except these 4 columns, which I selected it, rest of the columns I want to remove it. Right click on it, remove other column. This option is available. Let's say you have 100 columns are there. Okay, out of 100, you just need, or 104 columns are there. You want only 4 columns, remaining 100 columns to be removed. Simple. You don't have to go and remove each and every column manually. Simply, this is another option. Okay. Okay. The point what I'm trying to convey now is, I wanted to remove this column. This column is nowhere used in my report. Okay, you can remove it. Right click on it and click on remove. Another another step got created here. What in this step, what I do? Remove columns. Table dot remove columns and table dot replace values. Sorry, transform column types. Table dot transform column types. Here select rows and here replace value. So these are the steps we carried out in this sequence. Okay, now I deleted the row.id. Fine. Now my manager comes back and says, hey, no, don't delete row.id. We need it. So can you restore it back? You deleted it. Is there any possibility that you can restore it? Yes, that is possible. Look here next to this step, which I carried out just now, right? You can see the cross icon here. Here in Power Query, Control Z or the Control Z is, you cannot use it here. If you want to undo any changes you made it, you can click on the cross icon. I'm going to click on this one. Look here, I got back my deleted column. Now the row.id column is available in my data set. Okay, this is also important. Okay, the applied steps, but there are some steps carried out automatically by Power Query Editor, but there are steps we carried out explicitly by using pointing and clicking it. Okay, look here, the source. This step was carried out by Power Query Editor automatically. Promoted error, so this step also carried out by Power Change type also. It assigned the data type also automatically. Okay, your question is, okay, you want me to expand this one? Okay. What do you want? Rajesh, what do you want? Oh, okay. You wanted to specify the sales as a date, the decimal type, isn't it? Is it you want me to specify it, right? But you can specify it here. What will happen is that specific value, the text value, right? Kind of text value. When you try to convert a numeric data type, what will happen is it will get converted with some error. You cannot convert a text to number, isn't it? For example, your name is Rajesh. If I try to convert the numeric value from text to numeric, is it possible? No, right? It will throw an error. Before you make changes to the appropriate, before you assign the appropriate data type to the sales column, make sure that you are removing dollar, you do some kind of cleaning everything, okay, and then you do the data type transfer. That is the reason why I did not. So I thought the same thing initially. Okay, I can put the float. What is that? 1 second. Let me just change type one here. So this is the final one. So number type, right? So it's a number type. So you can change. You could have changed here itself as a number type. The sales column, right? It's a number type. Number type. I could have changed it here because the reason why I did not do that was first we need to remove the dollar and then replace the NA by 0. Only then, if you put it as a numeric, it will get converted as a decimal data or number data type. It's nothing but decimal data type without having any error in it. Make sure that while changing from one data type to another data type, you should not have any error in your column. For that, you can see, right, the percentage of valid data in each column and the error percentage, empty percent. The error, you are not supposed to have any record. If you have it, and when you close this Power Query editor, it will throw an error. I discussed so many important points. Okay, look here. Now I just go to the file menu. We have 3 options here. Close. When I click on close, what will happen? All these steps, whatever you carried, it will not get applied permanently. Whatever the changes, what are the steps that we carried out, it all, we carried out all these steps on the memory. See, when you load the data, it will get loaded in memory. Importantly, when you import the data, it will get loaded in memory. In the memory only we made changes. So now, can I, make it permanent to my file in my disk? You can use apply. And you have another option, close and apply. See here, yes, I did all the data transformation. I don't need data pre-processing. I did it. I don't need this Power Query. Close it, but make sure that you apply all the steps that I carried out to my model. What do you mean by model? I'll show you now. So this is what your data view, the second icon. Look here, it is applied. It got applied all these steps that we carried out on my data. This is your data view. And then next one is your model view. So when I did the close and apply in the Power Query editor, it gets applied permanently to my model. Here also you can check the data type for each and every column. For example, if you click on the category column, there is something called properties. In your case, maybe it got collapsed. If you want to see the data type for example, country column, right? You need to expand this one, this one, okay? If you click on this double arrow, it will get expanded. Again, if you click on it, will get collapsed. If you expand it, you can see the country column, and if you scroll down, you can see the data type is text and format is also text. And if I click on the discount, you can see the decimal number. Format is general. Okay, you can also change the format according to your wish, as per your project requirement. Yes. So all the changes, for example, sales column, look here, next to that, we can see the aggregation symbol, the summation symbol. With that itself, we can understand the sales column got converted successfully as a decimal number data type, which we carried out as per the Power Query, got reflected, applied on this model. This is called your model. Don't worry about this term model. What is this model is all about? We'll explain it later. Don't worry. Okay. Fine. We are done with the fundamentals of how to load the data, how to explore the data, how to do the data transformation. At a high level, we have seen it, and also we have explored the Power Query editor also some extent, and Power BI Desktop and Explore also we explored it some extent. All right. So next one is I'm going to load an Excel data set. Click on the Excel workbook. So there is not a big deal. Click on the customer.xls file. Now it is establishing a connection with my Excel file. Before loading any data from any source system, it will display the preview of the data set in the navigator. This is called your navigator window. So you can see this one and click on the checkbox next to the sheet. So in this Excel file, I have only one sheet is there. Next to that sheet, if you select it, you can see all the columns that are available in this data set. You can see it. It's a customer related data, customer ID, first name, last name, gender. The problem here is the customer ID supposed to be here, right? The customer ID is supposed to be here. The first name is supposed to be here. Last name is supposed to be here. Gender is supposed to be here. But the column names were not assigned with the proper name. Instead, the column names are available in the row along with the data. So we need to promote this row to a column. We need to move this from here to here. That is called promoting the data to your column. Okay, so that is one data pre-processing step that we need to we need to carry out. So as part of the navigator window, which is nothing but the preview, right? You can understand what problem we have it in our data set, and then you can fix it. So now I can see. So in this case, what I do, instead of loading the data, I'm going to click on the transform data. This will open up the Power Query editor, and then go to the transform ribbon. Click on the transform ribbon, and here you can see that use first true as it is. See, when you open the Power Query editor, as soon as you open the Power, make sure that you are selecting the correct file. See, in the real world scenario, you will have multiple files, you would have opened it, but each and every table will be considered as a query is because it's a Power Query editor. Okay, all the tables are considered as a queries in the Power Query editor. That's all, no more confusions, no more jargons. Okay, you can see that column 1, column 2, column 3, column 4. What is column 1? What is column 4? We don't know. So click on the transform ribbon, use first row as it is. Click on the drop down here. Select the first option, use first row as it is. Now this customer ID first name will get shifted to the column header. Good. Now it is in the proper format. And I can rename the query also, the file name. You can double click on it. You can say dim customer, which is nothing but customer dimension table. But this is the naming convention. In most of the project, they use a dim customer. But in practice, when they tell the name of the table, they say customer dimension table. This is the short name for the customer dimension. This is the you might be like customer dim. Can't we give customer dim? Why dim at the table? So you can quickly understand. Let's say you have 10 files open here. So all that tables prefix with dim, right? If you see it quickly, can make out. And this is a naming standard used by most of the customers. Okay, I'm going to click on close and apply. Now the changes that I made it to the customer dimension table gets applied to my Power BI desktop. Look here on the right side, I just click minimize it. Sorry, I'm going to expand the customer. You can see all the columns that belongs to customer dimension here. Very good. Okay. Now you understood with this example how to load an Excel file. Very simple. And the other example, I'm going to click on get data. Click on more. Apart from those connectors, the Excel and all the connectors, there are a lot of connectors are available. To view that, you need to click on more in the get data. Okay, look here and then wait for some time. You have a lot of options are available here, right? Here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the JSON thing, connect. It is asking me the JSON file that needs to be loaded here. For example, yes, on your product data to .json file. I selected this file. I'm going to hit open. Now that file gets, since it's a JSON file, it get loaded into your Power Query editor automatically. It will not ask you. 1 second. See, instead of showing the preview of that specific file, it took me directly to the Power Query. This is an exception to your JSON file. You cannot load the data upfront into your Power BI desktop. Instead, it will load the data into a Power Query editor, and then you just validate whether the loaded data or having the correct data in it, or are you going to use the same thing? Are there any issues with the data? You can, by exploring the data, just by viewing the data, you will get to know that. And randomly click on any specific column. We don't see any blank here. Good. And these statistics are very much helpful. Okay. Do you have any empty values are there in the column? 1 second. I'm talking about this one. Sorry, these columns. Just beneath each and every column, you will find the value. So if you have any empty record, it will show this one. This is the one will show the empty, right? This is the one will show. In case of any, it will show. So by and large, this one seems to be good. All right, we don't see anything. But one problem is each and every column was prefixed with product data. This is not the desired one. I need to remove the prefix for each and every column. Okay. So for that, what you can do is you can go back to your applied steps, expanded product data one, right? Next to that, you will find the wheel kind of icon. You click on it. It will open up something like this. In this case, at the bottom, can you all see it here? Default column name prefix is your table name. You just go and remove it and then hit OK. Now it will display only your column name, product number, SKU. Otherwise, what will happen is each and every column will get prefixed with product underscore data dot. Okay. So now I remove this and I'm going to hit OK. And if you see here, the product underscore data dot got removed automatically for each and every column. So this many number of steps we carried out so far, right? So this is change data type. You can probably remove it. Okay, fine. It is doing good. But make sure that when you click on any step, if you get some error, first understand the error by reading it and read it more than one time. And then the error message. Sometimes it's a common sense. You can simply delete that step. Okay. So in my case, I deleted it. Fine. We don't see any error, nothing. So the next step is I'm going to select file, close and apply. So with this example, you understood how to load a JSON file. In the case of JSON file, it will not show the preview data. Instead, you can open it directly from your Power Query editor. And then if you want to remove the column, each column prefix was the table name. I removed the table name, right? That is what we did. And then, yeah, we were able to convert, load that as a data, right? So load that as JSON file, load it as a product underscore data too. You can see it here on the right side. See this is what this is the Excel file and JSON file and CSV file we explored so far, right? Any questions so far? Yes, we have a lot of things are available. Look here, even Hadoop is also available. Click on the more. It will show various other connectors here. See on the right side, Parquet and SharePoint, Snowflake, likewise, so many options are available. Now I'm going to cancel it as of now. Fine. And we have some web data connection is also available. Okay, click on the get data and we have some web. For example, I want to grab the data from Amazon website. Go to the Google and here we just select Amazon. You can type the Amazon.in URL. And for example, I just want to see something like buy again and you have something called explore more items, electronic items. Or simply what I do is I just okay, selected for you. Let me do one thing. Okay, Zalia step cut, something like that, copy and then go to your Power BI desktop, get data, and here you have the web connector. Click on that. and then you can paste that URL. Okay, this is what your URL. Basic, advanced options also available. With advanced URL preview, you can do it, and then something else. Okay, let's start with the simple one, basic, and hit OK. We will retrieve the content. Okay, let us try some other URL. Okay, it is still opening. Let's see. I go back here again. Okay, I just click on this here. Okay, Prime Day offers. If you want to explore this one, bestsellers. Yeah, this is the URL. I'm going to select it. For example, you want to analyze the best sellers. I'm going to click on cancel. I just click on get data, go to the web connector, and copy paste the URLs. And you want to compare your competitors, the items which they give any special offer, right? You can click on it and wait for some time. It will try to connect. There are some times, the Amazon, there are some pages you cannot access due to some security reasons also, right? They would have enabled security thing. Look here, it is not throwing in error. So far, so good. Let us wait for a few seconds. Look here, you can see all the things here. HTML tables. Select this one. If you see here, column 1, column 2, Amazon, bookstores, all the thing, you can see it here. And if you see table 2 here, column 1, column 2, and the price, you can see it here, column 7, right? You can see all the things here. Zemic portable travel umbrella. These are the things are available, right? In this case, umbrella. Where is umbrella? Control F. Umbrella. Wesley. What is Wesley? Wesley. Bestsellers in video games and everything. Okay, various tables are available, right? So maybe Lenovo, you can see various bestsellers in computers and Lenovo. Okay, Lenovo 15. I can see Lenovo 15.6 slim everyday backpack. Yeah, it is maybe right. It is taking it from the vertical also. Okay, you can see all the things, right? Which all the items which they give it under the best sellers, right? You can see it here. The rating also, along with the rating, all the things. So you can hit load button to load that specific table. And then you can load your price for each product. You can do comparison. Okay, how much difference? What is the percentage of difference with respect to your competitor? Right, your prices with respect to your competitor. You can do analysis. Competitor analysis you can do with respect to price and offers, everything. Now, yes, it got loaded successfully. You can see the table 1 and 1 second. It is open two things, right? Okay, I just go to the data view. Click on table one. Yeah, the first one was also successful, right? And though it was showing some error, the second one, it shows, let us see, yeah, column 3, ratings, everything. So here you need to give the column name, everything. But here, the column names are not available here. Even in the first row, it is not available, okay? So a lot of blank records are there. You can remove it, the blank records. But the blank records, we don't see any corresponding product name here. You need to do some kind of investigation. Okay, net, this is how you can grab the data from any given website. Okay, and the column name, column 2, yes, Bala, that one, we will have to, specify it manually. Okay, how do I specify it manually? Maybe right, you can retain only one blank record, remove that. But in that case, obviously, it requires some kind of manual intervention. Okay. Anyhow, that one we will see it later. At this moment, you understand how to grab the data from various other website. Go to get data, click on the web connector. Okay, with this, I'm going to wrap up today's session. Tomorrow, we'll take a look at the other interesting items, the OneDrive and GitHub, how we can connect. And, we'll see the folder connector also in our tomorrow session. Don't miss out tomorrow session. In case I'm delay or something like that, there will be, see, usually I just sign into this Zoom at least 15 minutes ahead. Sometimes due to net issues, right?